Alright, so in the course of cutting down all these trees, which by the way I decided to cut down way more, I'm probably going to do a pretty good chunk of this whole area. We got our next migrant wave. So I really like the way this guy looks. This is a pretty cool little sprite. This guy is actually a pump operator, which I don't think I've ever seen the sprite for the pump operator before, but he looks pretty cool. I like him. So I wasn't going to show it right away because I figured that the migrants were going to do the thing that they've been doing, like the last 4 waves that showed up. They just stood there, and I was like, cool, I just won't start recording until they start moving. And I'm like I said, migrant wave has showed up. I unpaused it, and they started moving right away. So joke was on me this time. But let's go ahead and see how many we have. So we have 1, 2. Looks like another ranger. 3 dwarves. 4 dwarves. Another farmer. Very nice. I don't know what this guy is. I should. I've seen this one a lot. That's a farmer. And a thresher. I'm sorry. I thought the little pitchfork meant farmer. I'm getting a lot of rangers this time, which isn't too big of a deal. But oh man, I lost count. What was that? We had the pump operator. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 dwarves. 7 dwarves. I don't recognize that sprite either. 8 dwarves. That's another ranger. Is that it? 8 dwarves? Up to 69. Yeah, looks like that's all of them. So, all right. As you can see, we are still in early autumn, so not really a whole lot has happened. I think out of these new guys, what I'll probably do is see if any of them have the ability to be my new manager, or I might be one of those rangers, my hammerer. But ooh, real quick, they are at the last designation, so we are going to shut down all these. So, as you can see, I'm making sure to get a lot of wood. My military squad started to get thirsty and hungry, so as you can see, there's only 4 of them out here right now. But yeah, so this should be it for now. I just wanted to let you guys know that migrants have showed up. Actually, while we're out here, no, we want reclaim, not forbid. We are going to pick up all of these fisher dwarfs gear, which I have been neglecting to do. But as you can see, there is, well, not a whole lot of stuff. I thought there was more than that. Weird. Doesn't really matter. So anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and cut it off here, and if, I'll be back once the season changes or something interesting happens, or if I feel like updating you on something. So I will be back. Alright, so nothing really new is going on right now. I mean, we're still just kind of, collecting all the trees and all the things. Well, one thing I just wanted to point out, because I think I find it humorous, but you see all these things right here? All of these are bolts that have not broken, because I still have my Marksdwarves up here in the shooting area. Sorry, animal was getting starving for attention. But apparently, my Marksdwarves hate birds, because this is a great horned owl. And earlier, they were shooting at ravens, so these birds are just minding their own business, and my Marksdwarves are just taking it upon themselves to make pot shots. And I think that they're all over here because it'll hit it, and then it won't stick, it'll just fall to the ground. So, I would say a good 75% of the bolts are not breaking. So those can be recovered for use later. I just wanted to point it out because I thought it was kind of funny. Let's see if they actually shoot at them while we're here. No, they're not going to take any more shots. Anyway, I just thought it was funny. I just wanted to point that out. So, I'll be back in a bit. Hey guys, so nothing really new going on. I finished collecting all the wood that I felt we would need for a little bit. I didn't get too much, just pretty much this whole area right here near the water. But really what I wanted to point out is eventually, before I was talking about my Marksdwarves were shooting at that horned owl, they eventually killed it. What I wanted to show you was the fighting report. So, this just kind of, you can kind of read through all this if you want. There's only 2 pages. So it's just kind of, excuse me, who says, you know, like some of the wounds that the owl has. Well, what I wanted to point out, I felt kind of bad for the owl because he was flying at this point, and so he gave into the paint, fell to the ground, broke his wing, his lower leg, his right foot, his right leg, his left wing. So pretty much broke almost every bone in its body, falling to the ground. Became conscious again, and then they finally put it out of its misery and shot it in the head. So I feel kind of bad for it, but you know, whatever. I mean, it's just I just kind of felt bad that it fell to the ground and broke all of its bones. But something else that I wanted to point out, I don't know what they were shooting at, but look, there's bolts all the way over here, and I don't even know how. I mean, they must have been shooting it out of the bird, because there's no way. Because they would have. There's no fortifications right here. I mean, there's no ceiling either, so they must have been shooting at something up in the air, and had the bolts just fly over and fall down, like way over here though. It's so weird. But so that's all I wanted to point out. Oh, actually, one other thing. So I went ahead and I got my manager and my hammerer. I filled those positions in. I actually found a place. I put their offices in these little cutouts. So, like one of these, this is my bookkeeper and this is my manager. So they actually, these cutouts actually ended up being useful. Something I wanted to, let me see if I can find it again. Here we go, prepared food. I think this is the one. No, these are all biscuits. Where is it? I probably should have started recording as soon as I found it. Might be this one. Stew. Okay, so you can see this is all prepared food, and it's stew and biscuits. Now, biscuits are the basic meals. Stew, I believe, is the fine meals, and then there's no lavish meal in here. But the lavish meals, I think, are roasts. But what I wanted to show you is this. Okay, so this is a biscuit. It's made out of two things. So it's so gross. This biscuit is made out of water buffalo eyeball and goat brain. That does not sound like a very tasty biscuit. I don't know. I don't know about you, but I just think that sounds kind of gross. You know, but I mean, that's just me. The other thing I wanted to show you, which I thought was kind of funny, which is the reason why I did it, is before I said I was going to make one of the rangers my hammer dwarf. If I can find her. Here we go, hammer. So this is Olin Rezenthadak. Okay? What I wanted to point out is she has very poor empathy. And that is the sole reason I made her the hammer dwarf, because if you're gonna be an executioner, you might as well have no empathy. So I just thought that was kind of hilarious. Let's actually see what relationship she has. Oh, I guess her older brother works here? Interesting. So her older mother must have come with, and her father is here, and her husband is here. I think that's what that means anyway. Yeah, because we can zoom to them. Interesting. And she has 2 kids, or one is a niece and, or two nieces or nephews. But yeah, so I just thought that was funny. You know, I mean, either that or if she had great empathy, one or the other would have been a humorous executioner. But that's all I wanted to point out. Nothing really exciting is going on. So yeah, I'll be back once you know, we're still in autumn, so not a whole lot's happened, but I will be back in a bit. All right, so welcome back. As you can see, I've been doing quite a bit of work on my defenses, my ceiling right here. Haven't filled everything in yet. Some of these holes are actually going to be. I'm actually going to go ahead and put iron bars over, so sunlight still gets into the level below it, and you know, I mean, it'll make it a little bit more vulnerable, but I mean, not quite to the point where it's going to be anything super dangerous. I mean, people up here will be able to shoot at my dwarves, but it's not going to be too terribly troubling because, you know, not really going to have a whole lot up here. But the dwarves have come, the caravan. See, right over here. And oddly, like it did give me that message that they've bypassed my site again, but I'm just gonna go ahead and assume that it's just saying that because the gate is closed, and as soon as we get the gate open, then you know, they're not gonna go anywhere. Just someone will come over here real quick. Come on. So I will go ahead and almost forgot. Gotta do defenses. So same deal as before as always, but the Marksdwarves up top. And I'm gonna start calling these guys the Brute Squad, just cause saying melee dwarves is, I don't know, it just feels awkward saying melee dwarves. So Brute Squad they are. So the Brute Squad is gonna go right here. You know, same as before. Brute Squad behind the door, archers on top, and then I'm gonna go ahead and do the same thing that I've been doing with the caravans. I'll cut the video and then come back once we have things to trade, or if goblins try to use this opportunity to attack. So I'll be back in a minute. So just real quick, the caravan's still moving forward, but just something I wanted to share. So apparently, my Marksdwarves just absolutely hate birds, because these right here are Kias, and they are a type of parrot. See, it's a green mountain parrot. And as soon as the birds showed themselves, these guys all the way over here just started shooting at them again. And apparently that was enough to enrage these dwarves, who are here with the caravan, and they just started rushing over and just started pounding on all these guys. So I don't know what it is. I mean, these guys just hate birds, man. Birds didn't do nothing to my dwarves. They're just out for blood. Well, you know what? You can fly and we can't. And that enrages us. They're just so angry for no reason. So anyway, that's all I wanted to share. Just found it funny again. I don't know why these guys hate birds as much as I do, but I will be back in once the caravan gets here. Alright, so apparently, like, I was trying to record it when it happened, but something happened really screwy with the audio, and it only recorded the last 2 seconds of what I was saying. But apparently what happened between the last time and now, let me go to the alert screen. A kobold thief showed up. Let's see, here we go. Thief protect. And he managed to get right here. So I went ahead and I sent my brute squad down to just tear into him. And let me go ahead and go to the... See, so not a whole lot happened. It was only 2 pages of combat, so... You know, I mean... So here, you can kind of read through this if you want, you know. Kobold Thief, he just pretty much got ruined. And all he managed to do was 1 counterattack on one of the mace dwarves. And bruised him, and it wasn't even really enough for this guy to require to go to the hospital. I mean, it's just a bruise. And then that managed to kill the the mace dwarf managed to kill him by smashing his skull through his brain. Apparently, this mace dwarf uses a whip. That's pretty cool. I like that. I've actually known that for a while. I just haven't pointed it out yet. I just found it humorous. Let's go ahead and reclaim the kobold's gear. But yeah, so I kind of want you guys. It'd be nice if you guys could see it, but I don't really feel like doing post commentary without, because I mean it wasn't really that exciting. It was just he was there. I sent my guys. They killed him. You know, I mean it was pretty blah. But so other than that, I will come back once the trade caravan has actually gotten into the trade depot and show you what we're trading for. Alright, so we finished going through, and just same basic deal as before. Went through, got some bismuth bars, some steel bars, some different kinds of glass. They only brought us 2 things of bituminous coal, which is sad. I kind of wish they had brought us more than that. Let's see what else. We didn't pick up any of this other stuff. Oh, we got our 2 sheep. Let's see, this is a straight ewe, and this is our stray ram. So we can start getting to work on slowly building our wool. I don't think you can milk sheep. I probably should have thought of that, because I think there's one kind. Well, maybe you can. No, I think you can. I just grabbed a bunch of barrels. They only had one thing. They only had one thing of dwarven wine, so they didn't really have any alcohol. Let's see, what else? What else? I didn't pick up any buckets or any of this other stuff. I grabbed just a bunch of different kinds of armor, like this bismuth bronze, and this is a breastplate. These are some low boots. Grabbed a couple of shields. I think these are gauntlets. Yeah, these are gauntlets. Picked up some more sand. Didn't pick up any seeds or leather bags or anything like that. I grabbed some gypsum plaster for our hospital, because we don't have any here. And then they brought us a bunch of leather, like I said before. So, like you see, here's a whole thing of cougar leather, some yak leather, kangaroo leather, wolverine leather, wild boar, porcupine, mountain goat. I grabbed two bins of silk, just because they're a little expensive, but silk can be worth it. I mean, you can make some clothes out of silk, and it'll make you guys very happy. You don't really want to waste silk on things like bags and things like that. That's what your plant fiber and your your wool is for. Here's some more leather. Didn't pick up any pigtail fiber cloth. More leather. They just brought us a bunch of leather, so we probably won't need any more leather for quite a while. Got a bunch of bunch more food, some prepared stuff. This one I actually found funny. Prepared honeybee brain. Think about that for a second. A honeybee's brain. What, are they making snack food? No. I mean, unless this came from a giant honeybee, that is ridiculous. Sometimes when this game comes to random generating food, I mean, come on. Honeybee brain. Seriously. Oh, and then just a bunch more seafood. Mostly lobsters, it looks like. Picked up a couple of backpacks and quivers. Although, really, I don't really need these leather, because, I mean, we have so much leather. I just felt like picking them up, just so we had, some ready. Because, really, we need at least, we need a bunch of backpacks for our military. And, I made a bunch of, what are those called? Water skins. I made a bunch of those already. So hopefully everyone should have those. Picked up some steel greaves. I didn't really pick up this iron spike ball because, I mean, that is expensive and I can make my own. And then I picked up a bunch of cheese and more supplies for our hospital. And that was it. And then we're just trading, a bunch of just bins of either pilfered goods or regular crafts. And then, so their profit is 800. Let's see if they take it. Okay, so they're going to want one of the mill pots, a marble ring, and a mug. Bring their profits up to 2,500. So we'll go ahead and accept that. And then we're going to offer up this bin, and why not? We'll go ahead and offer this bin as well. And then we're going to actually offer these as tribute to our king. Okay. So then we'll tell our trader to go home. That should be it for this. Oh, something else I wanted to talk about is if you go to the farmer's workshop here and you go to this one, spin thread, what that does is if you have any animals that you've killed, that you've butchered, and they're hairy, like horses, alpacas, I think. There's a few others, but I'm not really sure what. But if you do spin thread, what that'll do is it'll take their hair and spin it into thread. And it can only be used as thread, and that ends up being really useful for your hospital. So like, see if we go here to the hospital, and we go here, then it'll have, we have 60,000 thread, and then way more cloth than we probably will ever need. But yeah, and then if we go to stocks, we go to thread right here, you see horsehair, cow hair, buffalo hair. So like all this hair is, can be used for suturing, which is really, really handy. You don't really want to use, I mean, you can kind of let them use silk and wool and pig fiber thread and all that, but you don't really want them to. You really want to save those for all your cloth. But, alright, so look at this. this doesn't even count the. I mean, some of this is like the ones that are in the high, like the 11, the 10, like all the ones that are like in the double digits. These are all the ones we just picked up. So that doesn't even really count all the ones that we had before. I think when the last trade caravan came out, we had 100 leather then as well. But I've ended up using quite a bit of it. But yeah. Oh, one more thing. I put some statues in my hall right here. I've started adding more tables over to this one over here to make this another hall. We'll get to these two eventually, but not really super important right now. Adding more coffins to my graveyard. I just need 10 more beds for this place, the living quarters. Started adding some tables and chairs and some doors to my other two nobles' rooms. But other than that, I'm probably going to start digging this out here pretty soon, because we're at almost 70 dwarves. So this first living quarters is about to be full. So we're going to start digging out that second living quarters and start outfitting it. But I think that should be it. Hasn't really been anything else. Oh, I started making bins out of metal instead of wood. But yeah, made some more progress on my door since the last time the video was running. But that is pretty much it so far. Hopefully I will have either expanded this or have started making towers by the next time. As you can see, it's late autumn, so we're about to hit winter. We're doing okay on food stock, but I would really like, my creative wealth is pretty high, but I'd really like to just keep this climbing and keep making more stuff. As you can see, most of it is in furniture, because dwarves need a lot of furniture. I'm not sure what displayed means at all, but yeah. So we really need to start making sure we have way more stuff to trade for our exported wealth. Just we want to make sure that number gets really high. Imported wealth isn't as important, but yeah, I think that should be it for now. So I'll come back once the season changes or something interesting happens.